it's gonna be awkward.
I don't get it. You do the math.
Two, one, boom. This is a finale.
In the den for episode 10.
No,
It is the finale.
We're in episode 11.
Episode 11, damn it. We had 10 guests. We had 10 guests.
No, but that was a good rhyme for the next season.
Kind of, now that I'm thinking about it,
10.
it did sound a lot like last week, so shit.
Yeah, but anyways, we've got our finale episode, and this episode is special because it ties pretty much everything
Full circle for literally the entire birth of the show.
Like even going back to the interview with you on the Socially Awkward podcast before we even started Awkward MMA, we've been bringing up this guest.
And every guest up until pretty much, I think we've only had I think it's been every week your name's been brought up at least once.
Well, let's introduce him.
Yeah, so this is none other than my first coach, Master Paul McGowan.
Yay!
Woo! Welcome, dude. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. It's
Much more than my first coach, by the way. So
Mentor.
we've got, yeah. Well, I was gonna say, you're a lot of people's coaches, owner of the gym, Chandler MMA. So there's a lot
person
going.
to teach you how to say the word for fuck's sake properly.
Exactly.
That's right, dude. That was the foundation of his Connor impression. Had to be
Exactly.
with you.
Just ingrained in my head.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
You got it down though, nailed. All right, the thing with these mics gotta be close to them, just like that. All right, dude. Let's get into some questions.
All right, let's get into it. So I guess the best first question where we have to start is where did it start from you? Because you were not from here originally, correct?
I am from another world. I left, or I'm from Ireland, obviously, and I left there when I was 18 and I came to the States. But it started long before that. When I was 7, I vaguely remember, but I was told that I was kind of getting bullied in school, and my grandfather brought me down to the local boxing club. And then I went. That was it. That was the start of it.
Fell in love.
And I either liked getting punched or someone punching me, one or the other, or punching them, or whatever way it went. And I just stayed doing that for years and years. And at the same time, then I dabbled into Kempo and Kyokushin, and karate was big, and kickboxing was kind of big in Europe as well at that time. And then when I was 18, I came to the States, and I emigrated to New York and started immediately in Taekwondo and Hapkido and kickboxing, and kind of kept that going until I came out to Arizona. And the kickboxing, I was good, but I knew I was missing something. I could move pretty good and all that stuff, but where I really knew I missed something was being in New York for 10 years managing a college bar, and then definitely knew what worked and what didn't work. 5'6", 160 pounds, and I got to tell big ass American, get the fuck out of the bar.
Yeah.
And they look at me like this and go, no.
Yeah.
So what works and what doesn't work, you know right away. I mean, there's artistic styles and realistic styles in martial arts, and there's thousands of styles, and you got to figure out what works in reality or not. Hapkido for me, a combative Hapkido and kickboxing worked very, very well together.
Well, that's important because this is way before like the UFC was so mainstream, or any professional fighting was so mainstream, and so it's all functionality. Like figuring out literally what works in the street versus not.
Yeah,
is a completely different line of thinking than a lot of people think about now as they're getting into the sport to try to get into the UFC.
And that's the biggest thing. You said the word sport, and that's what it is. It's a sport. There's a difference between a sport with rules and regulations and referee, and an area where you can go and not go, and that's matted and it's safe, and there's ropes or there's a cage or whatever it may be, versus the street where there's not, and there's concrete and there's glass and there's snow and there's ice and there's
curbs,
everything, curbs, and and there's car windows that you can put people's head through and
get your teeth stomped out.
Was it
stuff like that.
Was it easy to adapt? I mean, since you already knew so many styles going into that line of work, did you? I mean, were there some times where you got your ass whooped and then had to go, okay, I got to do this differently? Or
Yeah,
was it just
I mean,
like,
there was a
figure
lot
it
of
out as you
that.
go?
Absolutely. I go for surgery actually on Thursday for cataract, young for cataract, but a cataract and also retinal damage. And one of them was from a kick in the face. That was for sure. A kick in the face.
From the street fighting
From
days?
the street fighting days, yeah. And it's just repair that has to be done, so
Yeah.
I don't lose this eye completely.
Right.
When I came to Arizona, I came out here after been in that line of industry for years and wanted to open up my own place. I was going to open it up in New York, and I was going to take over my instructor school, which was Taekwondo and Hapkido and kickboxing. And I even gave him a deposit. I was going to do it. And then I just kind of had this epiphany. Came out here. My uncle lived out here. He's from Ireland. He works for Intel. Came out and visited him and seen the Grand Canyon and all that stuff. And I said, wow, this place is nice. It's clean. You don't have the snow. You don't have the crap, the shit. It's new. And we said, let's go for it. And my boy is 16, and he was 3, almost 3 at the time, I think. And then my 13-year-old was in the belly on the way out. And we just sold it all up, packed it up, and drove across the country. Said, fuck it, let's do it. Let's just go out
You
here.
landed in Arizona.
I landed here, and I landed teaching at Chaz Turner's school, which was on Val Vista in Elliott. And him and I were the same rank in Hapkido and Taekwondo, and he did kickboxing and I did kickboxing. And he was Ryan Bader's coach for a while, for quite a bit there.
Okay.
He was doing holding mitts for him and stuff. And him and Aaron Simpson actually come down and train with each other at my gym now from time to time.
Oh, really?
And just hold mitts for each other and stuff. So I was with him, and that's the funny story is the whole polar ice thing, the ice rink. And
Yeah, I want to get into that.
so Chaz Turner, his brother-in-law is Jeff Chevalier.
Okay.
Chevy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there used to be a little karate thing going on in that Sharp Competix Omnibalance thing.
I remember that.
And those people were getting divorced. And one guy was moving back to Maine, she was staying. That's so funny. That lady, husband and wife, they own that. She's a massage therapist now out of Mac Colby's office, Kimmy Johnson.
Wow.
Oh, man.
So I basically, Chaz said to me, I know you want to open up your own place. Why don't you go down and try this out and see what's there? There was like 3 students, right?
Yeah.
And then they were doing all the off ice for the hockey teams, I didn't know shit about off ice. I was just a little bit more hardcore. Work, push the shit out of them, make them accountable and give them the fighter kind of like, let's go hard all the time. And they loved it. So they got rid of that dude and kept me on. And
That is so crazy. I remember
that was it.
I remember that happening because I was there when I first started playing hockey at that polar ice. It was when that whole room used to be like a pro shop. You used to buy equipment there.
Yeah.
And then it transformed into this gym when they sold to Desert Schools, and that Sharp guy was there, and I just remember him being
Jeff
like
Sharp.
a fucking weird dude.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you come in, and then they're doing martial arts in there, and then everybody started doing all their off ice there, and it was like it was so transformative because it was like the first time that there was like that discipline from a different
different standpoint versus just hockey. And I would definitely make the guys accountable because I took the martial arts approach to it, and I made them respect me. And right off the bat, I gained respect. And my name's Master McGowan. That's it. You fucking say it, pal, or get the fuck out.
I mean, I don't even know if I've ever called you Paul or anything. I think I've always called you Master McGowan even when I was a little kid.
I think, and then that just happened. It just kept going and going. When you think about it back then, if you're 24, you were 10 or 11 years old, right?
Yeah.
So that's how it was. That's just the way it went.
Young
and I
pup.
tried to keep everybody in line back then because they were little fuckers.
Well, and a lot of kids still are, I imagine.
Sure.
Do you still do any work with any hockey teams or anything?
Not teams as much anymore, but individuals.
Yeah.
I worked a lot with a kid, Patrick Murphy, and he ended up going to Canada and playing up there, and he's up there now. And every time he comes home, he typically comes in and works with me now. And that happened for a while, and then slowly it kind of phased out. But we are contracted with the DV club team now.
Okay.
And we have been for the last 3 years.
That's cool.
And we have a core and fitness class 4 days a week, and they are allowed to come in and take that, obviously, and we contract through DV, Desert Vista.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
When did you guys leave the rink?
I think we were in the rink for almost 8 years, the guts of 8 years, and they were great. I mean, they were awesome times. It was small. It was only 2,000 square feet. It was built-in air conditioning. You didn't have to pay a fucking goddamn electric bill.
Yeah.
Because it was always cold, but it was good for working out. And we started with 2 students, and both of them stayed up till about a year ago.
Wow.
Like almost 14 years.
Wow.
Very first one that came in the door. Stayed till almost last year, and now he's a chef locally, and he does pretty good.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, he's a good kid. So we left, the ice den got bought out. Well, the Polar Ice got bought out by a guy called Reggie Fowler first. They went to shit. And then the ice den came in and bought it off of him. And then they thought we were too violent. That was the word from the ice den, you know, that they didn't want us in there and that it didn't fit with their business model. Stupid bastards.
Yeah.
Have 5 different businesses gone in there since, and not one of them have stayed.
Wow.
They turn over, constantly turning over.
That's
So
brutal.
it was really a good marriage for a long time because, you know, you bring families into the ice rink and the kid skates, and after 6 months he hates it. Well, then there was something else for him to do.
Yeah.
It kept business in there, kept people coming in. And if people got peed off doing martial arts with me, so let's go skate. I mean, a lot of our students became hockey players and figure skaters and all that jazz.
It's such a great marriage, just in general, the 2 sports, and I wish they were way closer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they weren't saying it's too violent and stuff like that. Just because, like, I feel like if a lot of, even for hockey, when you're in the higher levels and you are fighting, knowing those basic levels, I'm sure would have helped you a ton. Just knowing body movement and clinch work and just being able to
absolutely.
And then that discipline, like I say, because I remember my first encounter with you is I was playing for the Polar Bears Bantam team, and then we were doing the core and fitness on Wednesdays with you there, the dryland stuff.
Yeah.
And then I think it was Colin Quinn on my team who was doing jiu-jitsu with you.
Quinny, yeah.
Yeah, and then and then I had the knee surgery, and then when I was done,
he's a big tall kid now.
Is he? I haven't talked to him.
Yeah,
in years.
he's really tall, big kid now. I remember him crying. Sorry, like I do a little squat jumps, and he's like, "Why do I do that anymore?"
Squat jumps
I've
suck,
been
man.
there.
Yeah, these little bouncy hops up and down. You know.
I remember running
Fucking
sparring though.
wreck it
Whenever
up.
I was sparring, I'd run and always jump onto the rubber part of the mats.
Yeah.
Dude,
That's
we
fun in
had
there.
our mom one time. She got real upset with us when we obviously we were younger, but we were getting fight with each other. She pulled over to the side of the road, and it was like she just left one of your classes, a kickboxing class, like a mom's kickboxing class, and then she starts fucking teep kicking Makudu's Island. And he and I went from laughing at or being like almost ready to kill each other and throw each other out of the car to started just dying laughing.
That's
She had to release
funny.
the steam.
But it worked, and it was just like the first we'd ever heard of it.
That's cool.
Yeah. But anyways,
Yeah, so the gym now, what's been the growth plan? Are you looking to have like a huge fight team or?
No, I'm not. I don't think we're ever going to be that big fight school or fight gym, and I don't think that's our business model. I don't think that's us in general.
Right.
I think we're a family school first and foremost, and hence where we've kept we have a good retention ratio. When we get people, we kind of hold on to them for a long time because they like the environment and what's going on.
Right.
Because it's not a typical fight gym. It's not a and it's not a meathead gym either. You know, it's not full of testosterone and guys crazy stuff. We do a lot of kids. We developed a Tiger Thai system for Muay Thai for kids. Put a little belt system into it for them, and the kids are loving it. And we still teach Taekwondo, but it's phased out a lot over the years. Now it's really Muay Thai. You know, and it's Muay Thai with a striking Taekwondo kickboxing flavor to it as well. It's not just straight traditional Thai either. And a lot of people like it. And really, you think about it, in a gym like ours, 0.5% are going to compete. Sure. The option is always there for you to compete, whether it's in jiu-jitsu, wrestling, or Muay Thai, kickboxing, MMA, whatever you want to do. You're always welcome to compete. And we have fighters-only classes. But it's definitely a small portion of what we do. Right. That's it. And it always will be. We're more on the fitness level and self-empowerment level.
How much does that give you freedom to be able to work as like a I guess consigliere with other teams and other organizations?
Well, you know, the Don is consigliere. The fucking Irish Don. No, it's just it's nice to know that people will look out there for me. I had a great opportunity, and being in the business for a long time, from Chaz Turner to Jason Bress at Jab Fitness and Brandon Spencer, to Roman, and the guys up at Fight Ready, Tiago Azaredo in Seton Gym, Danny Brandt at Dan's Gym, Eric Kitzman in Arizona Kickboxing and Muay Thai. Gerson from Roots BJJ. I'm giving lots of shout outs to all you fuckers right now. Jay Pages. You know, there's just you once you're in the industry for a while, you know a lot of people, and they get to know you. And so and then when you do compete in certain things and they see some of your guys are doing well, obviously people want to ask questions and maybe they want to train with you or they want to pick your brain for knowledge or whatever it may be, you know. I think the big opportunity for me came last year when, you know, the former COO at Fight Ready, Colt Stevens, contacted me and said that John Long and Roman and these guys who know me have been talking about my system. What happened with those guys was Henry was supposed to fight TJ, and there was a Bang Muay Thai system in Fight Ready at the time. Yep. And I guess they didn't want it to keep doing the Bang Muay Thai system, and maybe Dwayne didn't want them to. I don't know if what really happened there, but they weren't going to do it anymore anyways. Right. So Colt knew that we had a curriculum devised, just like Bang. Well, we obviously a lot longer than he's been doing it. We've been not saying doing it, obviously, but I'm saying curriculum-wise. We have a structured curriculum and a system that you can build, whether it's you give out belts or you give out brajouts or you give out T-shirts or however way people want to do it. It doesn't matter, right? It's a matter of building the individual and getting them the basics of Muay Thai down or a striking system. And so they can get better and better and better and better and better at it, and they get a tangible result for their effort. That's what's really great about it. And that's where the empowerment comes in. And then a lot of times, literally most of our kids that went through our Muay Thai system and got their Muay Thai, I will not let you wear Muay Thai shorts in my school unless you either fight and you earn them that way and you win, or you go through our system and you do a 12-hour endurance exam after 2 or 3 years of learning all the curriculum. And then I'll gift you your shorts, and then you can wear them after that. But otherwise, someone cannot just walk in off the street and wear Muay Thai shorts. Damn. I hold that as the level of a black belt. Yeah. That's what I think it should be, and that's why I do that. And some people don't, and some people do. And there's a lot more people doing it. John Jones got a black belt. They say in Muay Thai, they say there's no black belt in Muay Thai. Well, what's wrong with evolution? Right. What's wrong with things evolving? You know, Rafael Cadero gives black belt out from King's MMA. Yeah, and that guy's a legend in the striking industry. You know, so former shooter box. So I think it's okay to do things. And business is business, anyways. If I'm doing something good and I'm charging for it, and that person is loving it and they want more of it, then it's a marriage made correctly. Yeah. Then it's not bad or it's not wrong or it's it's just indifferent than maybe what the norm does. Yeah, there's that value in it. If it's good for you, it's good for them. It's good for everything there. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with doing that just because society says one
especially
thing.
The impact though that it makes. I mean, I don't know about for an adult, just for when I started, but for sure kids and teens, like that is so huge to know that you did do something right. You did go through a system. This is you got something that you worked for. Yeah, and you empower that individual. You know, you give them the tools and the knowledge to know that they can have a better chance of defending themselves in the real world against the average Joe who knows nothing. Knowledge is just power, right? And this is where I go back to Fight Ready with Roman and these guys. Then they contracted me and they purchased my Muay Thai curriculum and I sold it to them. And then I trained the guys. So I trained Anthony, Derek and John and Roman and Peter.
And they all came down and they trained a couple of times a week for about 6 or 7 months leading up to the test. And they did the whole test.
Damn.
And they will tell you that it was one of the hardest things they've ever done in their lives. And you're talking about former UFC fighter Roman and current Bellator fighter, right?
Yeah.
So he said it was the hardest thing he's ever done in his life. And he's in great shape. The guy's phenomenal. He's off the charts,
Always.
right? But he said that was definitely one of the hardest things done. And for him, I made them get up. I make everybody go to a banquet afterwards. Whether you're a child or an adult, you have to get up and give an acceptance speech. That can be a minute long or it can be 10 minutes long. It's up to you. So they got up and they gave a speech, and they gave some fantastic speeches about how they wish they could take a lot of the things that we have in our gym and bring it into their gym. So that's where the connection kind of came in. And now that John Long has established a Friday night fight sparring with local gyms, we're trying to get more and more gyms in on it, and we just all get together on Friday nights and go to different locations. An instructor shows a technique or two, and then they spar, and it's awesome. So there's a nice little marriage made there, you know.
Such a way for everyone to grow and
help each other out and know that. And it's so funny, you know. Jerry just fought the other night, unfortunately from Fight Ready, and he lost, as you know. But he fought one of our guys. Yik Yak, and beat him. But those guys spar each other almost every Friday night now.
Yeah, they talked about that when Jerry was on the show.
And they're good buddies.
Yeah.
They're fine.
That's
you know?
awesome.
It's going to happen. But that's the difference between competition and you talk about the fight or reality or street. It's not the street. It's a sport. And you have to respect the sport and know that sometimes you're going to have to fight your buddy. Yeah. It may happen. Or you shouldn't even say fight. You should compete against your buddy.
Sure, yeah.
Competition.
In hockey, that was a super common thing that, like, you were always worried about having to fight one of your buddies, and then afterward, though, you just go and have a beer with them. Same way you do sparring. You know, it's just business. And that is what
competition. Competition is competition, you know?
Yep.
So I think that allows me to... and then I think it's what's important is if you do the right thing by guys, you have... you gain the respect. Right. You know, Roman brought me to Ireland as a cornerman. They were shy on some corner guys. They had a lot of fights going on at the same time, and of course he was fighting an Irish guy, so he thought of me and was like, "Hey, would you go along?" I said, "Absolutely, of course I would." So me and the boy, I brought the boy with me, and we had a nice little 4 days in Ireland, and
nice.
It was pretty fast, but it was fun.
Yeah. How often do you go? Do you get to go to Ireland often, or?
Yeah, I try and go every year. I was just there in June, and I did an Ironman over there. So I did a full distance Ironman over there in June, and then when I got back, I didn't think I was going to go so fast again, but it worked out, you know.
Spin back. We're getting kind of close. So let's just do our break now, and then we'll come back. Break.
Sounds good.
We're back. All right, where were we, Z?
We were talking about you being out in Ireland, but my question was, since you said you did an Ironman out there, and obviously you don't still fight or compete, how much is doing marathons? Because you're doing those like every weekend and all kinds of races. You're doing a lot, but is that like a fun way for you to still get that competitive, or do you just do it for the health? And
for me, absolutely. You know, I told you I had issues with my eye, and I've always had some stuff. And I got hit pretty good a few times. And when I was younger, too, I got hit with a crowbar in the head. And I was told I shouldn't compete. I shouldn't be getting hit in the head. So there's like white things up there, or I don't know. So whatever. So I had thought about it, but against doctors' kind of advice, it wasn't a good thing for me to do it. But I mean, I sparred for a long time, and I sparred pretty good. I used to go over to Jab and spar Jason Bress a lot, and it was awesome, and we enjoyed it for years. But there comes a point then when, you know, you're getting older. So, I mean, some people, if you continue to do it regularly and you're consistently at it all the time, it may not be as bad on your body. Your body might get beat up a little bit, but your body's also used to it at the same time. When it's not used to it and you're a little bit older and you want to jump into it, you know, it's not as easy on you, I think. Yeah. So in the mid-40s right now, I think this is a good way for me to stay in shape without getting injured or getting hurt. And I do it more for charity, the charity side of it thing. I give a plug to Together We Live. Together We Live is a nonprofit that helps children and adults with IDD, intellectual and developmental disabilities, mentally and physically handicapped people. So part of my run yesterday, right, I had that big 20-mile run to prepare for Ironman in 3 weeks' time, Arizona. But part of that was then picking up my girl, who I'm partnered up with for the last 5 years. She's 21. She's 21 years old, and she can't walk. You know, she's in a wheelchair her whole life. She has cerebral palsy, literally. And then I ran 7 miles pushing her in the chair yesterday. So I've taken her over the line for countless half marathons, 10Ks, 5Ks, and actually a full marathon. I pushed her over the line for a full marathon too. I did a triathlon about a month ago with her down at Teep Setups Lake on my own. So I put her and her mom in the raft, tied the raft to my waist. I swam a mile, about 1.2 miles. I got off, I lifted her out and put her in a chair, the chair on the back of the bicycle, and cycled 25 miles, and then took her out of that and put her in the chair and then ran with her.
Wow.
So for me,
that is so cool.
That's more important. That's where I'm staying in. That's what I'm staying in shape for more than anything. It's knowing that I can give back to somebody else and take whatever athletic abilities I still have at this age and give it back. And I think that's
awesome.
That's what. So yesterday we met at Teep Setups Lake for a team run, and we had 8 teams out there with 8 chairs. So it was really cool.
Wow.
We raised the money for the chairs, and we compete in about 8 races every year. So racing season has just started, and the 3 TV half marathon and 10Ks this coming weekend, and there's lots of our guys out there doing that.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing marathons and triathlons and all that?
I was 38 when I did my first marathon.
Okay.
So about 6 years. That was it, really.
6 years?
I was sparring regularly up till then and really training hard.
Was it right into the charity stuff?
And then it wasn't right in. It was a goal. I wanted to run a marathon. So I got to run a marathon before I'm 40, right?
Yeah.
So I did that, and I was like, all right, it wasn't too bad. I want to do an Ironman now before I'm 40. So that was like, fuck. It still is. It was like fucking scary as shit, that stuff. It's hard because it's just a long day. You know, you're just going nonstop all fucking day. So 2.4 miles. Well, it was. I signed up in November of 13 for November of 14. She signed up a year beforehand.
Yeah.
And the fuckers rob your money. It's like $750 to race an Ironman. It's really expensive.
They get a free T-shirt?
You get a T-shirt and you get a medal. That's it. And you put yourself through fucking torture.
Yeah.
And it's an expensive sport. It's really expensive. So you're talking about the swim gear, run gear, bikes, all this type of stuff. Really expensive stuff. Coaches, you know.
Yeah.
So
discipline is high,
and then
too.
discipline. I couldn't swim one length of a pool in January of 14. Wow. I was getting swim lessons at gold medal swim school. I couldn't swim. Wow. Could not swim.
Wow.
And by November of that year, I did 2 sprints, 2 Olympic, 2 halves, and 1 full Ironman in 11 months.
Wow.
I was slow as shit in the water, but I
made
but
up
you
for it
did it.
elsewhere.
when I got on the bike and get on the run, I can kind of get going then a little bit better, you know. But fuck, I just sink like a rock.
Do you swim better now, or
A little bit, but
yeah?
a lot better than I used to, but not like some of the guys. You know,
Yeah.
they fucking fly.
Man, that's such a cool thing. I think we start to see more and more people in mixed martial arts that do this sort of training. You know, Diaz is probably the most famous triathlete.
Yeah, you've seen that definitely with the McGregor fight. He knew he was not gassed enough, and then McGregor started his fast program, and then McGregor was showing out on the bike out in the desert, cycling and doing all this type of stuff. You know? Yep. So I think it's great. I mean, one of my guys that has been worked for me for 11 years, Renee, he fought, and when he was sore or tired or he was in fight camp, I would bring him to the pool instead, and we would get into the pool, and I would make him do 500 kicks on each leg under the water, developing strength, but with resistance, but with safe resistance. You know what I mean? Or punching under the water and all that type of stuff.
Not taking all the tear.
Yeah, it's great. It's great recovery workouts for you. So you can do a lot of stuff like that.
Right.
And the biking is a lot better than running, obviously. But look, running has been around forever, and every boxer and fighter in the world runs. You gotta run.
Yeah,
that was the only thing for me till like I started actually losing weight. It wasn't even until I started running. I tried diet, I tried biking, I tried literally everything. I was like, all right, fuck it, I'm just gonna actually try running.
Yeah.
Sure enough,
The weight
the
comes
only
off.
thing I was missing.
Yeah. You were a chunker when you were
Yes,
young.
I was.
remember. You were a little
I'll
fat
grab some
fucker.
picture after
I
this.
was too.
I remember.
I got you. I
Yeah,
got some great pictures for you.
but those Yeah, dude, that's those training methods. Running is there's just nothing that compares with that. Like even Stairmaster.
And 90% of fighters don't like it.
Right.
Yeah, and you say to them, look, you got to be self-motivated. Get your ass out there and hit the trails, hit the roads. You got to get the road work in, you know?
Yeah.
Have to do it. You see the greatest guys in the world out there, Floyd Mayweather, and he's just out running at 3 a.m, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Maybe he's 50-0 for a reason, right?
Yeah.
You got to put that work in.
Yeah.
That's it. There's no way around it. You have to do it. It's the one thing, no matter how talented you are, you can't get by on just talent alone.
Yeah.
You cannot, because your gas tank will suffer in the second or the third round then, even if your talent keeps you alive.
Right.
You have to put the hard work in. There's no fucking way around it, you know?
That's true.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna ask you because you had mentioned yesterday a little bit how you have your you have a really strict schedule for your fight team.
Yeah.
How does that? What does that kind of look like for the fighters? And are you with them while they're running? Do you have to watch them and then do you take them with? Or
sometimes, we will send someone with them. If someone's not competing, we send an older kid, older guy, or mom or dad or whoever wants to if they're gone running. So basically, they run 2.6 miles on a Tuesday and on a Thursday, and then we'll have someone go on a bicycle with them. Especially if we're going at 6 o'clock in the evening in the wintertime, it's dark, and if anyone's lagging behind, especially if they're kids, you got to make sure they're okay. So you always send someone with them. And it's just a run, but when it's sprinting on Mondays and Wednesdays, then I'm with them. I'm out there. I'm calling it. I'm pushing them. I'm telling them which way to go, how to sprint, da-da-da-da-da. And then we're just bursting, getting that anaerobic burst of everything they can. Bring them down as quick as we can in a minute and then bring it back up again. It's the old school method of probably what like Neuroforce guys are doing now. You know what I'm saying? It's just the old school method of hard work and pushing the kid, you know?
Fucking dryland days.
Yeah.
That's it. That's
Well,
what
you
it is.
also mentioned too that if it was something if a fighter doesn't show up or if they miss.
Oh yeah.
off the
So
card, right?
well, you're on a schedule. So we say, okay, fight camp has started, and it's 6 weeks out from competition. Especially if we have 3 or 4 or 5 entering a tournament or something's going on, and we give them a schedule. And that's it. So when they come in, they sign in, and if they don't sign in, and we check it after the second week, then we're going to say what's going on. You know, you were supposed to be here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We were supposed to spar on Fridays in different gyms. You know, it's kind of optional, but it's really encouraged. And then Saturdays we usually would run the mountains as well. So if you're missing, I want to know why. You got to tell me. Or if I have to go and ask you, it's not that good for you, right? Because then I'm going to say, obviously your heart's not in it.
Right.
It's too much work at school, there's too much with job, the wife, the kids, whatever it may be. I don't give a fuck, right? I do, but I don't. If you want to do it, then do the job, right? If you don't want to do it, then don't do it. It's okay. You don't have to compete. I'm not pushing people to compete. I want to give them the opportunity to compete is there for them if they want to do it. And if somebody shines, especially, you can look at them in class and go, man, you know, the coaches would get together and we'd say, damn, like that kid's awesome. They should compete, or that dude's really good right away. We should try and get them to see that they want to compete. And sometimes they'll say, no, I just love it, but I don't want to compete. Fair enough. That's your prerogative, you know.
Did you get any ideas of putting these sort of camps together for your school around doing team dryland stuff, team workouts and stuff for other sports?
I would say,
or vice versa.
More vice versa than anything. I'd say it was more my martial arts and workouts and work ethic and stuff that we were doing as kids growing all the way up, moving to this country, and even in New York, the workouts we did went into the dryland more than anything. I would bring that to dryland with. I didn't know anything about hockey. I can't skate. I've never skated in my life. I've never put on skates.
Right,
ever. I just conditioned the dudes. So I didn't know anything about it. But I knew there was a similar body mechanics have to work. You have to explode right off the line. The first three steps are the most important in hockey, and you got to be able to go really quick, and you got to work the glutes, and you got to work the legs and the hamstrings and all the rest of that stuff, and have a good, strong, tight core so you're not getting muscled around in the corner. And there's nothing different than fighting. Fighting is the same thing. If you want to explode, you got to go in and hit your combo, pa 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 pa, and then get out and move and take your angles and all the rest of that stuff, and pa 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 pa. You have to go up and down and up and down and bring that anaerobicness into an aerobic environment. You know what I mean? Very similar to hockey. And you think you're doing it in 45-second shifts on the ice, and you're doing it for 2 minutes or 3 minutes or 5 minutes, depending on the event, whether it's MMA or it's Muay Thai or it's amateur or it's pro or whatever it may be, you know?
Right.
So it's different rules.
When did Muay Thai actually start for you?
I'd say realistically when I hit Chaz Turner's school when I moved out to Arizona like 14 years ago, and I was teaching there, and we were really a lot of kickboxing, but then he was throwing in the elbows with it, and he was training with Rick Rufus at the time.
Okay.
Rick the Jet, and so there was a little bit of Muay Thai there, obviously, and then really it went more so with Jason Brest for me. That was like 6 years or 7 years. I was with them at LA Boxing before they bought Jab Fitness out. He was one of the, he was a McCulley brother pupil and student. He was also he's a great boxer too. One of his coaches was a phenomenal, famous boxer. I forget his name, Gennaro, who passed away. I think he fought Floyd Mayweather or Oscar De La Hoya, and that was his boxing coach. He is great. He has good hands and good stuff. So I sparred him for about 6 years, and we were sparring probably 3 times a week consistently.
Wow.
Yeah. And he gave me my Muay Thai shorts.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What was it? What is the Bruce Lee certification you had in the gym?
So probably for 10 years, myself and some of the other coaches at my gym, we got in touch with a guy called Richard Bastillo. He's passed away now 2 years. And Richard Bastillo was one of Bruce Lee's original students. And he has an academy in Torrance, California called the IMB Academy, International Martial Arts and Boxing. Or it was Inosanto, Martinez, and Bastillo. And of course, Dan Inosanto became very famous. He's still alive, and he's in California now and has his own place. But it was himself and Richard and Martinez were business partners for almost 40 years together.
Wow.
And they kept Bruce Lee's teaching methods and philosophy alive while evolving it all the same. So I got in touch with him, and we went out for an instructors conference, and we trained with him then a couple of times a year, every year ever since, until he passed away. And we still will go out there now. His senior students have taken over the gym and the school, you know. Well, we would go out there and train for a week solid, and we would do on Monday, we might do trapping drills from Wing Chun, from Bruce Lee. On Tuesday, we might do catch wrestling and jiu-jitsu. On Wednesday, we would do boxing and Muay Thai. On Thursday, we would do the Filipino arts, a kali and a eskrima, a knife.
Wow.
And then on Friday, we would do practical self-defense stuff. And you're talking about they would bring in top-level guys to help teach as well. And I mean, Richard himself had 40 years of it. But he would pick some of the stars and bring them in. So he had, for boxing, he had Brian Valorial, the Hawaiian Punch. He's a world champion. I think he was a featherweight or even lighter than that champion. And he would come in and do boxing with us. He would bring in Felix Roles, who they call him the Mike Tyson of stick fighting. Competitively, internationally, he would compete all over the world in stick fighting. He would fuck you up with sticks, man. He's a fucking mean-ass Filipino.
What size sticks?
Like eskrima sticks, 18 inches long.
Oh, okay.
He'd
fuck you up.
fuck you up with that stuff, man. That shit would fuck you up. And you think that's bad. Then if he had a knife, fuck. Dangerous bastards. These fucking Filipinos are nuts. And then he'd bring in, there's 2 gyms in the country from Thailand and that are famous. And one of them became more famous than the other, and it's Mark Delagrati's gym in Boston.
Okay.
God, it's in the tip of my tongue now. I can't think of the fucking name of the gym now. It's killing me. Anyways, the other gym is in LA, and that guy would come in and he would do Muay Thai with us. He's fucking 8-time Muay Thai champ. Fuck you up. He's got the fucking mohawk, old boy, tough as shit. And he'd come in and teach Muay Thai to us. So you'd have pro world champion boxer, you'd have pro world champion Muay Thai guy, you'd have pro stick fighter come in. We had Golkar Chevchin come in for jiu-jitsu and judo and leg locking. The guy's nasty. He's really, really good. And then they'd bring in the head of the SWAT team, the LA SWAT team, and they would come in and do practical self-defense and stuff like that with us as well. So we did that for year upon year after year. And the philosophy behind it was you find your own Jeet Kune Do. And people always think that Jeet Kune Do is a set style and a set series of techniques, and it's not. It's a concept. And basically, we're all, if you're a martial artist, you're all Jeet Kune Do practitioners. You just have to find what works for you. What is your Jeet Kune Do? What do you do? So for me, we have genre MMA. I want to encompass, person should know how to use a weapon. They should know how to strike. They should know how to lock up, whether it's trapping or it's really tight quarter joint manipulation and self-defense, from this type of stuff to going on the ground and having wrestling and jiu-jitsu. So you got to be well-rounded. You got to be MMA, and that's what Bruce Lee was. He was the original MMA guy. He truly was. He believed in conditioning the body hardcore, and he believed in having the 4 ranges of combat and knowing them really well. Right. And that's what was really good, you know? So
a lot to be learned from him.
Stuff. Huh?
A lot to be learned from him.
Oh yeah, I mean, the guy, like I told you a story yesterday. Him and Mr. Inosanto and Mr. Bastillo, back in the 70s when they were researching all this Filipino arts and trying to make it popular in America, those 2 men are believed to bring the Filipino arts to the United States. Period. They're the guys who are the legends, the dons of it, right? They're the dons of that shit. They would take separate flights up and down the West Coast to train with different guys because they were afraid if the plane went down and the 2 of them were in it, that all that knowledge they got from Bruce Lee would be gone.
That's so crazy.
So to be like, okay, you fly on this flight and I'll go on this one and I'll meet you there.
It makes sense though.
It's like,
I mean, it's like
who thinks of that shit?
You don't think about that with fighting. You think about that with like nuclear missile codes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, dude.
It's crazy shit.
It's like a cartoon for like a secret recipe or something.
But
that's funny as shit.
That's cool, man. He was a definitely an inspiring dude.
Well, and it's so cool though too, because another thing I wanted to mention, and a reason why I think that your gym has such the culture that it does is because it is so heavily inspired on an actual martial arts dojo, not just a massive fitness center like
big box gym or
a
UFC gym.
UFC gym.
Title boxing.
Yeah.
9 rounds.
Yeah, well, I think I saw one of those at the street.
Yeah, it looks and everything has their own little niche. It's not that I'm putting them down, but it's just different. You know, you're going to get a better environment. You're going to get real stuff. You're not getting any bullshit. I'm not going to teach you something or tell you something that I know doesn't work in reality.
Right.
Number one. And number 2, I'm going to push the shit out of you. You're going to get a good workout, really, and that's it. You know, and you're going to be in a good environment where we have a lot of fun. Because, I mean, if we're not smiling and laughing doing this shit, then why the fuck are we doing it? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So it's not a job for me. I mean, sometimes I can't believe I get paid. I started this thing in an ice rink with, 2 students in little karate uniforms, and here we are. Talking to you fine fellas.
Yeah.
I know.
And that's what's crazy too, though, is I think that there's a lot to learn from you and what you've done with the business model, because you have taken somewhat of a different approach in terms of trying to create a gym that you're not just trying to make it a massive, you're more focused on the inner workings of it all. So I think there's a lot to learn from you as a businessman on top of it, just because you've been able to grow so much so quick.
Yeah, I think it helps. I think it helps for sure being on the ground and being in there. There's too many guys that they own the gym or they're not there. And who really has the passion for the gym? I know you put managers and stuff in there, but do they really have the same passion as you do for it then? And if you have the passion for it, why aren't you doing it? You know what I mean? So,
well, that's like how we feel about these shows to a degree. Is like we do all the editing and all of the a lot of the shooting. Obviously we have Z Hut that helps out with some stuff, but but he's not an Arab.
The name sounds Arab. I don't know what you want from me.
But he
sounds like Wahat or Glete or something. I don't know what it is.
But we like to do it, and we learn so much doing it too that it'll help us in a bunch of other stuff. And if we didn't like doing that, we probably wouldn't be doing these shows.
Yeah, why would you?
Sure.
Absolutely,
because they wouldn't make it sit with the same level that we do. So, anyways, but yeah, I was gonna ask something, but I'm right now forgetting it. So if you want to ask a question while I think of what I was gonna ask, or do you not have a question?
Sure. Well, I was gonna let you because feel like I've been hogging up the questions.
You have been, and that's why I've forgotten. But it'll come back to me. You just spin off now.
All right. Well, yeah. So you're with the gym being where it is now. Are you looking to switch it to?
Oh, you asked me that. I didn't get back to that. So we're in a lease until June of next year in that retail center, and it's a fucking pain in the ass. It's expensive, you know, to have retail. So we're looking at warehouse space facility within a mile radius. So we'll probably look for one more move, and then at that stage, that probably hopefully will be the last move. I don't want to move again after that and be done with it. We ended up leaving the Polar Ice that time, or when the Ice Den bought it, and what happened was I had bought another school in that plaza that was a karate school, a taekwondo school.
Okay.
And I had the two of them going together. That guy used to come up and train with me. It was only a mile away. So I used to teach him Muay Thai and I used to teach him Hapkido. And he would bring it back down and do that same program in the plaza where we are at now. But he was just at the end of the plaza. So then I bought his, and I had the two of them going at the same time. And then when the Ice Den kicked us out, we brought everybody from there into that one location. And we were fucking busting at the seams. Like 3,500 square feet, two gyms going in together, merging.
Right.
We went from 3,500 and 2,000 into 3,500.
Right.
It was too much. So I stayed in the same plaza, and I just found a 6,000 square feet, almost 6,000 where we're at now, and then we went in there. So that was kind of how that happened. But we would like to ultimately go to 10 to 15,000. I mean, really, that's what I would like. Right now, we started a wrestling program with the former high school wrestling coach for 10 years, Jim Martinez. He's a 1984 bronze medalist, and he is a two-time Greco Hall of Fame. The guy's phenomenal. He's a gentleman, and we're extremely happy to have him because our wrestling program, since we started, has blown up. Just went huge. We just came in big numbers right away. And we're even trying to revolutionize that a little bit and put a spin on wrestling, maybe whether it's with a shirt or a progression and a testing, and you got to test as well and follow the same similar lines. If I created something with Muay Thai, I think I can try and do something with wrestling. I had a great conversation with Angel Cejudo about it when we were in Ireland together. And he said, man, I love your train of thinking. He said, it's never been done, and I think it's great for someone to do it. He thought about it, but never went around to doing something like it. But showing a progression chart for wrestlers inside your academy, inside your place, and whether that means you come and you show up and you wrestle in for practice, and you wrestle in a white t-shirt, and you wrestle in a gray t-shirt, and you wrestle in a green t-shirt, you wrestle in an orange t-shirt. Now you know who's what, and maybe it's based off of what moves they know, whether it's freestyle, folk style, or Greco, or how many matches they've won, or how they're competing and doing, winning or losing. There could be many different ways about doing that, and I think there's something there for it.
Huge opportunity.
Cool. There's an opportunity, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, really for all of the martial arts, I think that's cool just because, like we were saying before, just getting that feeling of progression is so huge to keep you even wanting to train even more and go further.
Yeah, you get recognized for your efforts, for your hard work. I mean, I know it's not like they used to do in Japan. We don't do that no more here, you know? So it's like... fuck America, they're crazy. So, but like that's like it is what it is. It's America. We're not in fucking Japan. We're not in fucking Thailand, and we're not in anywhere else.
Yeah,
we're fucking USA.
True.
That's it.
America.
Fuck you all. Push the button. Pull you all to hell. Fuck you, Donald Trump. So, fucking movie stars become presidents is great.
I know.
Yeah.
I think The Rock's gonna win next.
You got
fucking
The Rock
imagine?
next.
Yeah.
God damn.
I know.
But
all
that gives you the opportunity and the freedom to be able to try different things at least and see if they work. And believe me, there's things that I've done in the years that did not work and failed, but that's part of business, and that's what you do, you know. And so we just get to a position right now where we we're not comfortable. We've just established. So we're established. But you're constantly at it. You're constantly working to bring in a new. There's always going to be a turnover. You're going to keep so many, but you have to work on always bringing in new clientele.
Well, I think a lot of the same thing could be said about the sport in general. You know, this sport is at the point where it's established, but it's not quite, you know, as...
It's come a long way. I've seen some major growth, and especially in Ireland, where I come from, and I go home there, and we used to do kickboxing in the basement of a church, and you'd pay 1 or 2 pounds as a drop-in class. And there's still a lot of that now, where guys are not mainstream with gyms like we have. They're renting small facilities, and you're paying by the class. As you walk in, you're dropping the money on the counter.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, when I was over there, John Kavanagh from SBG was opening up his big gym called the Monster. It's like 30,000 square feet facility, huge. It's probably the biggest one in Ireland ever now. But, you know, also when we were in Ireland for that show, that Bellator show with Rahman, that was really the John Kavanagh show. I think literally every single fighter on that card was an SBG fighter.
Really?
Almost every one of them.
Wow.
Like SBG against.
Right.
That was it.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. Imagine you filling up a 16,000 people stadium with just your gym almost, right?
That's crazy.
Yeah, so he's with the growth of McGregor, obviously, that's, you know, just skyrocketed him to where he needs to be. And he's a great guy, and he's a great coach, and he's a good man, and he's doing good work. Yeah. So, and he's empowering a lot of people too out there. But the country's changed. People are working out more. People are getting into it, and they're using this as their form of fitness because it excites them.
Right.
It's better than going to the gym and just lifting fucking weights. It gets boring after a while. Or taking a spin class or doing this or that or the other. It changes it up. So when you hit pads or when you wrestle or when you grapple and you do these sorts of things, it changes it up a little bit. It's better. So.
Gosh, that's huge.
This has been really good.
Yeah.
Really
we're getting close
We're
here
getting
on time
close.
again. But it's been a lot of fun, and we can't thank you enough for coming on here and spreading your wisdom and your story. And thankfully, I didn't piss you off too much when I was young that I'm here to even do this.
Yeah, thank God.
No, it's great to see it come full circle. It's nice to see you guys doing well and training you when you were little kids. And I'm still young enough to even train you now, right?
Yeah.
So that's what feels good about it. So I'm sure it won't last, but we all get older. But in the meantime, it's enjoyable, and it's nice to see everybody when they were little kids working out and you were little shits, little fuckers, and now you're doing well for yourselves. It's good. It's nice. I like it. So I'm happy. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, and
Of course.
thank you again.
Yes, thank you.
All right.
This has been fun. Not as awkward.
Kind of awkward, though.
But we'll see you guys soon, though. Season 2, actually. We got to mention that quick.
Oh, yeah. Real quick.
Thanks for your support this season. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any ideas for us for Season 2, let us know.
Any guests, people that you want to see, let us know.
If you want him on again, bring him back, episode 1, 2, you name it.
All right. Thank y'all. We'll keep you posted. Bye.
See ya.
And then Bruce Lee's original vow was my vow of respect. I practice martial arts for peace and harmony. It was a Wing Chun vow. It's really cool. Did you see that shit?
Started 13 or 14? 23, just...
They gave us this one, yes. MMA coach or stay the feck out. And they had wrote on it, which is cool. The Butters family, they're the guys that took off and went to They went to Colorado. I don't know where they went. I think they went to Denver. I'm not sure anyways, but they had 3 little kids, and then the mother and the father, and they went up in levels in Muay Thai, which was pretty cool.
That was awesome.
Yeah, so there's a coach's corner. Stay the fuck out. Are you allowed to curse on this thing or no?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Cameraman. Where's your gloves, bitch? All right, I'll take you through a setup. I'll take you through a Teep Setups, right? So the Teep Setups, you hold the pads like this, with one above the other in an L shape, and then it doesn't matter how you stand. You can, if you're striking for MMA, and you want to drop your hands and be nice and loose and relaxed, or you want to be a Muay Thai and your hands are up and you're traditional and you got that march and that little movement back and forth, it's up to you. It doesn't matter. It'll work for anything. I was teaching it even last night to Jerry. You pop that teep in, bop, here, and then I fake that teep again. I get him thinking about it, because as soon as I do this, he's going to parry. And the way you parry the technique is usually it's left to left or right to right. So he would take his left arm and he would scoop this way, and then that would open up me for a leg kick or a hook this way or whatever it is. So the first time I always teep him here, pop. Then the second time I'm going to lift it and sell it. See, look at the little, oh shit. And then the right knee comes in, fish, boom, simple, okay? We can do a few off of that one. First one we'll do is the knee, so we'll hit the teep, we'll fake it, and we'll hit the knee, and then the second one we'll fake it, we'll come down, we'll slice them with the elbow. Okay. So here, 1, pop. Second time we'll lift, whoop, hop in, fish, boom. Then, next technique, same thing, teep, pop. Now I'm gonna hit the elbow here. Up, down, and fish.
Oh, okay.
Boom with the elbow, okay? You wanna try it there, gringo? You playing with your camera at home.
Yeah. Finally did it.
Put your gloves on too, because that elbow could be a punch, depends on the range.
Okay.
Depends on where he is, right? Maybe he does this, he hops back out again. If I slide in, then I'm like, bam! And I stick the cross in, you know? So it's just,
right.
So get close enough to measure, and then lift, and then teep them. It's the front leg, boom. Now, the second time, same thing, you kind of measure, see where they're at. You're gonna lift it up, and then you're gonna slide in and drop it down. Right, slide in, drop it down, and then boom, up the middle with your knee. Good, and your knee's like an airplane taking off. That's what you want to think about. Boom, so you're thrusting your hip forward, okay? Again. So teep, pop. Now lift it, stay relaxed, and slide into it. Nope, well yeah, you can do the second one, but he needs to work the first one about 10,000 times.
Yeah.
Bruce Lee said, I don't fear the man who knows 10,000 kicks. I fear the man who can do the one kick 10,000 times.
You did say that.
There you go.
He did,
All
of
right.
course he did.
That's true.
Okay?
All right.
So again, move in and kick it. Pop. Good. Stay nice and relaxed. Lift it up, slide in for the knee. Good. Right, now the second time again. Kick for the first one. Bing. Do it again, kick. Good. Now again, move forward, fake the kick, slide in, and then thrust your elbow. Boom. And then one more, we'll do the exact same thing again, but this time he moves back a little bit. He's too far. After you hit him with that, or after he knows he's getting hit and he's starting to come back a little bit. He moves like this. When he does and you slide in, that's when you can use your gloves and you can straight cross punch. Okay? But always hit the teep first. Get him thinking about it. You get him thinking about it, pop. Then lift it up, slide in, and throw the cross. Boom! There you go. Good, good. There you go. All right, technique of the week. Brought to you by Master McGowan. So we have a couple more like that, right? I'll give you a nice one then. We start here again. There's just unlimited versions of this. Now I'm going to spin elbow. This one's going to come here. So I do the same thing up, and then pop. There's your elbow.
Oh, okay.
Faking that, right? Then the last one is if you move back again, you put the pad here like this, because I'll chase you for low kick. Here, boom. And then as I lift, you take one step back and put the pad there. Here, boom, and chase the low kick right away, okay? Every time what you're working on is when you hit him in the body like this, you want him doing this. When this happens, you open it up. Boom, boom. You're opening it up. Boom, boom, you're opening it up. You can throw a hook, which is even nastier. Because if he goes to parry with this hand, go to parry with that hand, boom. Then you have a leaping hook as well.
Right.
So a lot of good stuff. But the movement is being relaxed, 50-50, and cover ground.
Right.
Tell my students, if you start on the line with your back foot, and you're here, look at what I covered.
Right.
1, 2, 2.5 feet. You can cover. but that's where you're nice and loose and relaxed, and you have to slide in. That's where traditional backgrounds can help Muay Thai a lot, because it's eclectic movement. When you were fighting point fighting in Taekwondo, you would move, boom, and slide in to get your point, right? So translate that and put it into modern day MMA, Muay Thai, and you just have better movement on your feet. You're quicker, you're lighter, and you can cover ground much easier, you know?
All right.
Okay.
All right, sweet. Let's do it. All right. Can we do one more?
If you like.
All right.
It's up to you. It's your show. Teep. Just let them know what you're doing. So you gotta tell them. Yeah, or if the trainer tells them, you can say it. Okay, this time give me a cross. This time give me an elbow. This time give me the spin elbow. This time give me the knee. But every time set it up with that teep first. Blast your teep, blast your front leg. And now, ready? Let's go.
Let's get that spinning elbow. Oh, see it.
Ooh, it's the instructor talking. Good. Now, one other piece of advice I'll tell you is if I miss, if I come here and I miss, right, and he throws his backhand at this time to hit me, you need to make sure this is up. A lot of times people will do this and they leave themselves wide open. So I come here, boom, right? So I at least have something.
All right.
So don't leave yourself unprotected. That's the biggest thing. These are called teep hops. You can put anything into it. It's just faking the guy out, making him think you're going to hit him again in the body. You hit the guy 2 or 3 times in the body like that and it starts adding up and it hurts. You know what adds up? When you get toe prints on your stomach.
Yeah.
When you start getting toe prints on your stomach, you're like, dang, I don't care how strong your core is. It starts hurting a little bit.
Yeah.
I need to do something with this, right? I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to whatever, or I need to catch it. He can catch your kick too. He's fast enough to catch that teep. He'll catch it and pull. That's a whole different game altogether.
Right.
We're working on, this could lead from one thing to a million things. That's the downside to striking, is it just goes endless. So that is to counter for a counter for a counter for a counter for a counter, right? It never stops. But if I throw it and he catches it, then I either escape from it and I get out, or I let him. And then I hit him when he grabs it. Or he grabs it and he hits me. Or he sweeps me. You know what I mean? It just keeps going and going and going. We're working on one little thing here and it's called fake. In Muay Thai, the teep is like the jab. Just boom. And if you're centered with a 50-50 weight distribution, it's very easy to pop that out.
Right.
If you're not centered and you don't know, when you start doing this and leaning with it, you're off balance, it's not gonna work. You have to have your balance. You have to have 50-50 center. Right. The MMA can be a little bit, here you see. In Muay Thai, you're literally straight up and down because you're not worried about really someone shooting on your legs.
Right.
So much as kicking your legs. So you gotta be able to check it or get out of the way. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I'm here, you kick the inside leg, here, and then whop, right away. Come back, cross, hook, cross. I set and I throw, he throws his head kick. You're getting out of the way, right here. Whop. I come back here, and now I slide that distance, boom. Now I kick the leg first, boom, being nice, and then body, yes, into the body. Okay, try to be nice to you, man.
You don't have to. I got big legs.
No, it's not that. It's if I kick the middle body, like you'd fucking go.
Well, you teach me a lesson, dude. It's fucking. I got no ego.
Okay, ready? So, inside leg check. When he kicks the inside leg, just lift it and then chop right away. Bang. Then cross with cross. Bang, bang, bang. Nice and simple. Throw your head kick and you miss it, right? Because he dips back. Boom. If you distance now, slide in with your teep and keep him in the body. Boom. Chop the leg and then middle body kick right away. There you go. Okay, good. Not too bad. Again. Inside leg check, chop. Bang. Wah. Cross hook cross. Bang, bang, bang. Throw your head kick. He gets out of the way. Matrix. Slide teep, cover the distance. Boom. Chop him. Boom. And then middle body. Watch your right hand. Your right hand is down when you're middle body kicking and when you're chopping as well. You have a habit of doing this. Cover your head. Cover your head. Your right hand is off. Okay? Everything else is not bad, but watch your right hand. Inside leg check. See, that's center. That's that difference between MMA and Muay Thai striking, right?
Yeah.
It's a big difference is you're not ready to load, or you're not loaded and ready to go. You're too wide and too long. So you're like one, instead of ha, boom, right away. Ha, boom, cross hook cross. Head kick, get out, boom. It's like Teep. Boom. Now, if you're so close like that, because he didn't move back, typically when you throw your head kick at me, if I'm here like this and we're fighting, you throw your head kick. Now look at where you gotta go. That's where the slide comes in. See what I'm saying? Bless you and whoever it lands on, which was all over my fucking mat. He's looking too. He's like, shit, what's there? Oh, it's fucked up. It's great when the holder has shin pads, and if you have shin pads on, right? It works really well. Typically, when my guys are holding, I say always put shin pads on, and always try to put a belly pad on. It makes better holding. It makes it more realistic holding too. And then you can chop the leg and you're not so much worried about it. Yeah. Because if you want to go a little bit faster and a little bit harder, you're not going to take 3 or 4 of those kicks. No. Because then it's going to be like, fuck dude, you're killing me, you know, come on. Then you're not getting good training. Right. You put the gear on, the nice big thick shin pads, and then it's like, all right, got a little bruise here after today's practice, but it was good. Yeah. It's not deep, it's not all the way in, it's not hurting me, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Like even those checks, dude. Yeah. Like those will wear.
Oh yeah. Well, remember Anderson Silva, Chris Weidman fight? Yeah. I was at that fight. Really? Front row, watched it, and I heard it, and it was literally like it sounded, a bone snapping. Oh. And you could hear that in the entire auditorium. You know they've got mics all over the octagon, right? Everywhere, mics come down. Right. Dude, it was like, it was disgusting, and it was just he just threw that left leg, and Weidman was just boom. That inside leg check, it's underrated. People don't do enough of it. But the great thing about it is what you see you can get from it right now. You throw that leg kick to the inside here, and as soon as you put it down, I can hammer that leg right away. And I can do a lot of damage immediately. So it's a nice little counter. And you can add what you want to do. We do, I do inside leg check, back leg chop. I'll do cross, up cross. Right? And I'll throw a cross uppercut cross instead of a cross hook cross. Cross hook cross is a little bit more basic. Simple. Cross uppercut cross is a little bit different. When you're throwing that cross uppercut cross, sometimes you got to move in. Boom, boom. Okay. Right? And you're loading it. You load your punch so you get more power. Boom, bang. Cross uppercut cross. A big difference.
I'm just gonna keep throwing the. I'm gonna throw
cross uppercut cross. Cross hook cross. Whatever you want to throw. Bring them nice and center every time. Good. You see good guys that fight, and they will touch our holders, and they won't even say anything. And just flow. Flow from one thing to another. Yeah. Jesus Christ, get them out of fucking bath towel. Right. God damn. I edit that shit out.
Bless you, dude.
You beach towel for that shit. What, you allergic to Irishman?
No.
You want to do something different again? Then you can edit whatever you want. I'll give you a blitz. Okay. You know what a blitz is?
No.
We'll go orthodox because it works well for me. The blitz is, the blitz is here. I throw my jab, and then I'm gonna pull, and I switch my feet, or I might switch kick. I might go jab, then switch. Okay. Jab, then switch. And I go jab, and then boom, 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 up. And that's blitzing. I'm stripping your arm and blitzing forward. Jab, switch, jab, switch, jab. I still switch. I pull his lead hand down, his jab hand down, and I walk and punch at the same time. Cross, uppercut, cross, step, kick. Now, Mr. Smarty Pants, let me ask you a question. Who walked and punched and had a famous reel in the UFC octagon? 2 of them are now no longer in the UFC, and they are both Brazilians. And he walked and punched at the same time. Who is it? 5,
Johnny Walker.
4, 3, 2.
Cheetor.
You are way too young.
Cheetor
Belfort and Vanderlei Silva. And it was boom, 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 boom. And it was opposite leg to opposite arm in the walk. If you would slowed it down, you watched it. It was boom, 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 boom. Switch and straight. Switch and straight. Switch and straight. Good. Now step cross. Step hook. Step cross. Step, and then here comes the kick. Boom. There you go. Turn your hip over a little bit more on the kick. You're hitting with your toes, which is okay, but you don't want to hit on this part of your toes. You want to hit here or here, right? I mean, if it's a head kick and you're not flexible, then here's okay. If you're a head kick and you're flexible, that's what you want. I'm not flexible. I don't even kick the head. I just kick the leg. I use these.
You want to do it one more time?
Yeah.
All right.
So jab.
Jab.
Now pull it and step cross. Step hook. Step cross. Step and kick. There you go. Good. There you go. Okay, your turn.
Sweet.
Pop it out. Now, you're going to pop your jab out, but as you pop your jab out, you're going to strip his jab hand down and switch your feet at the same time. So you're going to do this. Pop. Good. Now, step cross. Step hook. Step cross. Step kick. Boom. There you go. And you need your hands way up.
I do. That's a bad habit.
It's called not
paying attention.
training.
And training.
That's it.
Meatheadism.
Training. It's not training.
Not
That's
training.
it. You can tell. It's just not training. Here you go. See. Boom. Right.
Nice kick.
For me. Thank you, Z-Hut.
You need to breathe. What's your name? Z-Hut?
Z-Hut.
Z-Hut?
Zach. But
Zach,
Z-Hut.
His last name is Hut.
Boom. 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 There you go. And how it looks. It's here. Boom. Just that. Boom.
Good shit.
Speed. You know what I mean?
We're here at Chandler MMA with Master McGowan.
Got to learn a lot of cool techniques.
Yeah,
we're excited for it.
Yeah, we can't thank him enough for his hospitality and showing us a wealth of new knowledge.
About the new knowledge and getting to check out the new gym too. Or not new, right? This isn't. How long have you been in here?
6 years in here now.
Oh,
6 years here, yeah, so.
We will have already established that for the viewers, but we're doing this before the podcast part, so that's, we're awkward, but
That's why it's called awkward.
yeah.
They are awkward.
Where can we?
not you.
Where can we follow you on social media again?
Facebook, Chandler MMA, Instagram, Chandler MMA, all that stuff. Don't ask me about that social media stuff. I'm old. They're young. I'm old.
All right.
So you'll figure it out. To type in Chandler MMA into something that's going to come up, right? There you go.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks.
Later.
It's gonna be awkward.